name is indeed Sarah Jane Grant, and I am Director of LXA here in the Middle East. What we do is we support the hospitality industry, both in the Middle East, as I say, KSA in Manchester and also in India. As James told us, we are going to be talking today about the trends of food courts. Over the last sort of 3 to 4 years, LXA has seen a surge, if you like, of interest in this type of F&B model. Certainly a lot here in the Middle East in terms of KSA and Dubai, and to some extent also in London. But one of the questions we're going to be asking today is, has that trend passed? Is there still a place for the food hall in our industry? So with me today, I have one of our favorite clients, Peter Bruun, who is COO of Boxooo International. So we're going to dissect this topic. So tell us a little bit about Boxooo.
Sure. So we were meant to launch Boxooo about 2 years ago in London, but given the developments with COVID and everything else, and the market in London in general, we've actually postponed that and are now focusing on Saudi Arabia at the moment. And in short, Boxooo is a platform that connects culinary creators, so that could be anything from chefs to people making tableware or knives or anything food related, directly to consumers. And we do that through a digital platform, which will be a direct sort of marketing or trading platform, but also through very large venues where you might have met, where we are, which will have anything from a food hall that we're talking about to gyms and spas, co-working spaces, cookery schools, private members clubs, anything leisure, really.
Amazing. So why are we seeing this trend, this surge in food courts? Why have we seen that?
I think personally that it's a result of a consumer demand for individualism and the option to customize your meals, and we're getting more and more used to having what we like whenever we like it. And the food hall has given the consumer the option to go with a group of friends and still have exactly what you want. At the same time, we've seen challenges from the operator side in terms of mobilization costs and staff costs, and as somebody mentioned earlier, utility costs now and everything else, where they're seeing a benefit from the shared economy model of being able to share the space and the staff with others, especially during the downtimes when they're not as busy as during the peak hours. I think also from landlords, you're seeing the so-called death of the high street. You're seeing more and more bigger retailers moving out to the bigger spaces, and the landlords are kind of going, well, what we're doing with these spaces, so these food halls have flourished in those.
Amazing. So would you say that an operation like these sort of will drive footfall? Are we actually seeing that in the market?
That a food hall alone will drive footfall? I think it will. I think it depends a lot on the location, obviously. And I think one of the challenges that you're seeing with food halls is exactly that they're very busy during the peak hours, so the lunch and the dinner times are very busy, but one of the challenges is what's happening around or sort of outside the peak hours, where you need the businesses around it to drive the footfall through. Okay, cool.
I've got a different question. You're going to tell me off. So how do you go about curating the brands within when you're putting something like this together? How do we go about creating the selection of brands within your envelope?
Okay, I think there are two different ways of doing that. I think the traditional option is to go for the safe bets, and a lot of food halls will go for very established operators. We're doing it slightly differently. We're launching in Saudi Arabia. We'll have the first food hall alone will have over 32 outlets on the ground floor of this building. We're doing it slightly different in that we are working on a ratio whereby we will give a large percentage of those spaces to startups and entrepreneurs, and we will actively go in and support them in building their business through anything from bookkeeping to staff training to marketing to graphic design, and even financing if they need it.
Amazing. So it gives a great opportunity for maybe someone that doesn't have that collateral behind them, that support to come in and maybe try something new in a contained way, but obviously being mentored by you and your team.
For us, it's really about creating a community. So you'll have the established operators and you'll have the startups. And in time, we're hoping that actually, not that I'm encouraging anybody to leave their current job, but we're hoping that it will create an atmosphere of maybe people coming into the building, working for one of the established operators, will be inspired to start their own business and grow it out of there. So we'll have everything from, you can basically start in a cloud kitchen if you like, or a small test kitchen, and grow it as far as you like within our building up to a 250 square meter restaurant.
Amazing. So what would be the challenges? So if you've got a property, obviously you're driving footfall, you've got great brands in there and you're driving footfall. What are the challenges of the model?
Well, I think the biggest challenge of the model is the trading hours, and it's creating the footfall, and it's the curation of, as you said, the brands that are in there. So what you don't want is a whole load of brands that are mainly lunch focused or dinner focused, because you have those peak hours outside where people want a coffee or a pastry. So I think it also comes down to the architecture and the interior design of the place, so that you have the option to have certain zones that can be busy at certain times and other zones that are busy at other times, while still creating life in the whole building.
Just picking on something you just said as well, you talked about it being more than just the food. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've added experience to the food court?
Yeah, I think it is about food. It's all centered in food, but it is food, beverage, and entertainment, in the sense that I think for any place like this, you do need to create an experience. It's not enough talking about the future of food halls. I personally don't think it's enough long term to just focus on feeding people. I think it's about extending the dwell time. It's about creating a flexible space where people are happy to sit and work for a couple of hours. They'll meet their friends for a drink. They'll come in for a meal, and create that sort of flexible experience that will extend the dwell time and thereby the average spend. Amazing.
So let's talk a little bit more about the challenges. Obviously, that's a big operation. Can you talk to us about where the challenges in that model are?
It's a long list. It's a long list, but I think for us, we've had challenges in terms of the actual construction of the sites. We started from the outside in, so we designed a building first. I think given the fact that we have in the first site over 80 kitchens, the challenge of the MEP design alone has been enormous. So we've now kind of switched the model around, and the future sites, we've got 4 sites confirmed, all in Saudi Arabia to start with. So we've now switched the model around. So we're actually designing and curating the interior spaces first, and then building the building around them. I think internally, in terms of operations, the biggest challenge is finding the right partners. So we operate the building. We will curate the trader mix, if you like, on the ground floor, and even the tenants upstairs. But it's about finding partners who are willing to be a part of that community and support each other, rather than, it's not a sort of a dog-eat-dog environment. It's about finding people and businesses that will complement each other. Coming back to the trader curation, it's very easy to go, well, we need somebody who makes burgers. We probably need 2 or 3, 4 places that makes burgers, fried chicken, all the easy wins in terms of the brands that you pick. But you also want the home cook who wants to start their own business, who are passionate about a local product. We've started working with the Culinary Commission of Saudi Arabia to try and source local producers and local creators and even local farmers, growing indigenous grains and creating, sort of bringing back the indigenous traditional cuisine of Saudi Arabia, if you like, and we really want to try and support that. So it's creating that mix. We'd love to work with international brands, but it has to be brands that believe in the same thing that we do. It shouldn't be just about the bottom line.
I think from my side as well, if I think about the project that we did together, I think, you know, having the specialist team around you from the start is really, really important.
Sure.
And I think we learned, didn't we? We learned that quite. So it's not just about having this amazing group of chefs that can create amazing food. It's also about, you know, where do you get your tomatoes from? We can't possibly have, you know, 20 different suppliers bringing tomatoes to the venue. So we have to now think about how we operate that sort of those types of operations, little things like that. And if I think about the other challenge we had as well was thinking about how people move through the space. So, you know, understanding about how many lifts, how quickly the lifts can move people up. Because you had four floors. 5 floors, indeed. So moving people through the space. So yeah, really important to get the specialist people around the table from the start of the project was a good one as well.
Totally agree, and I think it's about making sure that you document your mistakes, but also your lessons learned, so that you don't have to start over from for every project.
Amazing. I know LXA are really excited about what Boxoo's doing at the moment, but what's next? What are you going to do next?
Well, first, for now, what we're working hard on getting the first site completed. We've started the second site as well. We're now working mainly on the digital platform because, again, coming back to the user experience, the customer experience, we really want to try and make sure that everything is seamless, both from a consumer point of view. So when you walk into the building, you'll have an app that will tell you exactly where you need to go. You can use it to access different areas. You can buy directly from the stand, whether you're in the building or at home, by the way. But also for the trader, again, we're trying to, or the partner, so we're trying to make it easy in terms of even the established operators coming in, but also certainly the startups coming in terms of managing their business and compliance and the legal side of it, and giving them access to another thing that a lot of food halls do is delayed payment to the producer, basically. So we don't do that. We have a maximum of 72 hours between people take their money until they've got access to them. So we're really trying to streamline the process, both physically and digitally.
So I know initially you were looking at London, but now your focus is very much on KSA.
Yes,
now.
I think we'll do the 4 sites in Saudi Arabia, and we're very excited about that. The market is, as you will all know, booming at the moment. We really feel like we've, by luck, I guess, hit exactly the right time. But Saudi Arabia is not the end of the line. That's been our focus for now, because we've had some great opportunities there in terms of sites and investors and partners. But London is still very much on the cards, but we're also looking at Cairo. We've looked at Morocco, a couple of different places in Morocco. Portugal's been on the cards as well. So we've definitely got global ambitions.
Well done. You're doing some great things in the market, and we're very proud to be a part of that journey as well. So I think I've got to leave it there because we're a little bit time conscious. I just want to say a big thank you, please, to Peter Bruun for that insight into his business and and what he sees happening with the food hall industry. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much.